Hey, what's up, everyone? It seems like I'm in the same place like every time. It's like the Fonz's office was that freaking restaurant or whatever. Here's a question that I'd like to ask everyone. It's kind of a general one. What kind of music are you into and why? And what is it about the artists that you dig that like really move you as far as that just encourages your creativity or gets you going? I'm a musician. I'm a music teacher. I've been doing music since the 80s. Well, actually, I've been like involved in music since the 80s. I was a little kid, but professionally like playing and recording with bands and touring since the 90s. So yeah, man, a little bit of history on me. I play bass primarily. For all you guys that don't know, there's a lot of people that probably don't even know that I have a YouTube account that know a lot of the bands that I'm in or whatever. But I don't just play bass. I play guitar and drums too. I also teach all three of those things. But I'm really into putting music together a lot. It's so fun. I enjoy doing it. I play all kinds of different stuff. I've done all kinds of different music. You name it, I've done it. Most kinds of music, if anything. The stuff that I do on my own is kind of hard to describe. I have different separate projects for each thing that I do. One of the ones that I'm working on right now, which I need to get back to, is more of like a hard rock, heavy metal, and the 70s style of playing that stuff. And I like, early Black Sabbath, early Funkadelic, Parliament, when they were like just doing heavy type psychedelic guitar type stuff. Bands like Night Sun from Germany, and Jimi Hendrix, of course, because he's a huge influence on me. So I'm working on that. I've been working on that for a few years, even though it's like 4 songs. Just got to get some certain things down. Who would think that a project would take that long, right? And another project that I'm working on, in the midst of that, hopefully I'll be able to start that after I finish this demo, but you could hear some of both on the SoundCloud. But the other project, sorry about that, that I'm working on is like really diverse. I like mixing different genres of music, so it could go anywhere from Ethiopian church music to straight up noise, but I mix all that stuff. One of the songs that's on the SoundCloud is probably the first that I've ever heard. I don't know if I'm the only one that's done it, but I've mixed classical and reggae. It's really dark. It's sort of, some people might consider it an anti-Valentine's Day song. The other one sounds like a cross between trip hop sort of stuff meets Black Sabbath. But man, I don't know what else I could say. There's a lot of stuff that I could talk about with myself music-wise. I mean, shoot, been recording with different artists and stuff, played with some of my favorite artists, and was in a band that put out 6 albums, and another band that put out at least about put out about 3 albums, and they have a whole nother album that wasn't released. Actually, both bands do. But yeah, I've done studio work with different people. One of my favorite beat makers, Omid Walizadeh. Who else? I don't know, man. I feel like I'm veering off, but I just dig music. Music is a trip because like it's one of the strangest mediums and languages, because it communicates to everyone, and could get to anyone even if they don't understand anybody, and it plays a part in and even, I mean, there's history on this, that it's played a part in influencing a lot of people in different places. So it's a trip that, like, even unfortunately, you have a lot of musicians that have been, kind of, they've been kind of struggling and suffering artists in that sense. A lot of them might deal with, really heavy stuff, even like depression or whatever. I just feel like, well, heck, that's one thing that's kind of attacking them, because they have such a thing. It's such an important thing to have a medium to spread a message, and it could go either way. But it's always cool to execute things that will help people. You know, that's what I feel as a musician, you know. Even if you're talking about things that probably might not be, how could I say, that might not be happy, you know, it still could be edifying in a sense. And me personally, I don't get into stuff that's really vulgar. I don't have I'm not into that. I think that's kind of just, it doesn't lead to anywhere, but you know, I leave that to people that are into that. I'm not down with that, but I just feel like there's so much that you could do with music. People have formed subcultures around music and everything, you know, like, I mean, like, shoot, look at all the subgenres of music. Look at all the subcultures that we have. I mean, shoot, even me growing up, you know, I was, you know, this sort of supposed oddball black kid, you know, that was like a punk rocker. You know, I was a breakdancer even before that, into heavy metal and just into everything really, you know. But for me, I didn't consider it odd at all. I just considered it a part of something that, especially being black, that we had a part in, you know, and not only just had a part, but innovated, especially rock and roll. Even that's prompted me to take note of a lot of brothers and sisters that play rock and roll, because, you know, we're often thought of as not to be a part of it, and that's a whole nother story. But I'm curious what you guys think music is all about, and just whether you're musicians or not, and what's your whole take on music and just what it does. And man, I could talk about it all day, to be honest. You know, I mean, shoot, I've had friends, we've gotten into hours of conversation about music and artists and stuff like that over the phone. It's just amazing, you know, just the things that, when you're a musician, it's a trip, man. You know, all you musicians that you just keep in mind, someone's going to be talking about you no matter what, as far as like your talent and all that. It's amazing just to hear and even play with some of the people that I've actually admired, you know, and to me, they are legends. And if you're a musician and you're just struggling, man, don't give up. Just have fun with it. You know, I know how that is. Trust me. Have a lot of fun with what you're doing and share it. You know, even if it's just recording noise for like 10 minutes. All right, you guys, I'd love to hear your comments and stuff. Peace. I might do another video on music, or look at my whole channel. It's practically all music, but anyways.